You're welcome to learning. Today we are going to expand on the major topic as far as our chemistry is concerned. So, four major parts as far as the inter-science is concerned. We will look at the chemistry aspect, but that's the genesis of chemistry. Your chemistry, if you really want to understand the chemistry course, that's where you need to really start from. Everybody knows it. It's common to everybody. So we'll look at it into details for everybody to understand. So as we all know, matter is anything that has mass and can occupy space. As you can see it here, say that matter can be said to be anything that has weight and occupies space. So any object that has mass or has weight and can occupy space is referred to as matter. Now, we look at the building blocks of matter. So when we take matter, anything, the dress you are wearing, the water you drink, anywhere, we call what matter, because anything as such occupies space, and as well they have weight. So the building blocks of matter are basically three. That's the atoms, molecules, and ions. So as you can see it here, you have the atoms, molecules, and ions. This video is going to explain into details what these are. So when you really understand this, you are going to really enjoy the journey in chemistry as far as your inter-science is concerned. Right now we are going to explain what these are. These are the definitions we get from books. We have atoms over here, the definitions we get from books. But what if you forget? Some people may chew the definitions and then go and pull. But with this video, it's going to explain to you the easy ways to understand these major concepts. First of all, we start with, we all know what a doormat is. When you go to our various homes, it's used to write welcome addresses on our doorways. I'm going to do an illustration very soon. So if I have something like this, let's say this is my doormat. So in this doormat, so I'll name this as my doormat. Okay, so this is my doormat. I'll call it my element. Then this doormat has a lot of entities, or what I call wools. They are projections that are found, or they are normally used to make designs in the doormat. And these wools in chemistry are going to refer to us as the atoms. These atoms, they are bonded. When we say they are bonded, it means that the wools, you can't easily remove them. You can't hold them and remove it from the doormat or the element. So you can't easily remove them. So they are bonded in a way. So this, from here to this side, they are bonded. You can't easily remove it. So let's draw a line here. So to this one too is also bonded. So you can't easily remove them. So these ones, we will call them molecules. So when we take this one out, so let's say that we have it here. So we have something like this, and then this. They are bonded. So this, we will call them molecules. Molecules. So we have the molecules, so we have the atoms, and then the elements. So in this chapter, we are going to expand on these two main things. As we all know, the building blocks are basically three: the atoms, molecules, and ions. The ions are going to be explained, but here with this analogy, it's going to explain to you the molecules and then the atoms. If you have it here, as you can see it here, the definitions from textbooks, that atoms are the smallest particle of an element that can take part or that can exist and still retain the ordinary chemical properties of that element. So the key words here are smallest. We have the element here. Now, inside the element, we have the atoms. So, when we say element, we say that elements are a group of atoms. So you can see that they are atoms inside of the same kind. So you can see the atoms over here, they are all the same. So we say that what? They are a group of atoms of the same kind. They are identical. So you can see, we say that an atom is the smallest particle of an element. Now, you can see that the atoms here are very small. So we say that they are smallest particle of what? An element. Okay. So elements are a group of what? Atoms. Or they are made up atoms of the same kind. So that's what we mean by what? Elements. This will go to the molecule. So when I take this and then this, I take it out. Since I can't easily remove them, it means that they are bonded. So if they are bonded, it means that you can't easily remove them. This constitutes what we call molecules. So what do we mean by molecules? We say that molecules are a group of atoms of the same kind. See, we took them from here. So we took them from the element. So they are the same. If it is T, they are all T, all around. That's our what? Chemically combined. So you can see that, why do we say chemically combined? That's the key word you should take note. They are chemically combined. So you can see this one over here is a bond. So we say that chemical bond is a chemical bond. This one to this place is also a chemical bond. So we say what? They are what? Chemically combined. So the atoms are chemically combined. So we know what atoms are. Atoms are smallest particle of what? An element. And we know what molecules are. Molecules are a group of atoms of the same kind that are what? Chemically combined. The entities or the building blocks of matter, they are atoms, molecules, or ions. So which means that, so the aim, we normally use acronyms to make things simple. So when we say the entities, when I say it's the same as the building blocks of matter. So entities of matter, or the building blocks of matter. So the entities of matter, we talk about the aim, A-I-M, as we have already said. So the aim, A stands from the atom, the I stands for the ion, and the M stands for the molecules. So this would help you remember most of the things when you are studying. The examples of atoms, we have oxygen atom, we have sodium atom, we have lithium atom, and the likes, the first 20 elements. Inside them we have the atom. Now the molecules, we said they are chemically combined. Molecules of an element always have atoms of the same kind. So example of such is chlorine molecule. You can also talk about hydrogen molecule. So we are saying that they are the same kind. Okay, so what we mean by that is the chlorine, it means that they are coming together. So Cl and then Cl2, and then hydrogen and then hydrogen. Okay, so they are the same kind. Okay, now some of these can also exhibit in a compound form. It means that they are different elements. Okay, so I can talk about as H2O. I can also talk about carbon dioxide as CO2 as the molecules. So the molecules, they are basically the ones which exist as same, as you can see, and the ones which exist as what? Compounds. Now our next one, we are going to talk about ions. Ions. Take note, it's not ion as in this. Ion is different from this, so take note of the spelling. Students normally confuse themselves with these two. So when we say ion, this is the element, while this is what? An entity or a block, a building block of matter. So here, ion is electrically charged atom. So when we say electrically charged, it means that it's even what? Negative. So when we say electrically charged atom, it means that it has two parts, which is the positive part and then the negative part. So the definition of ion has two parts. So in this, we are going to combine them. So we say that ion is electrically charged atom. So when you say electrically charged, it means that you have combined the two. Electrical charges consist of what? Positive and then what? Negative. Okay, so that's what we mean by that. Now let's look at some examples of ion. Examples of positively charged ions. We have the sodium ion. Okay, you can see the plus is at the top. Okay, it's at the top, so you have to be very careful. As time progresses, in our next videos, we'll be covering why this place is plus and the likes. Okay, very simple. So sodium ion, the plus is over here. Why do we say that is this way? We'll explain. We have calcium ion. This place is 2. It's 2. We have lithium ion. Okay, so this one is also plus. We can also talk about potassium ion. Okay, so all these are what? Positively charged. Now let's look at the negative parts. So the negative part is what? The oxygen 2 minus, chlorine minus, you have fluorine minus, okay, you have bromine minus, and on. Okay, you have a lot of them. So these are what we call what? Ions. So we say that ions are what? Electrically charged atoms. So from textbooks, you realize that the definitions are long and lengthy. The ions are positively or negatively charged particles. Obvious, as we have said here, they are positively and what? Negatively charged what? Particles. And we said an ion is an atom or a molecule with a positive or negative charge caused by losing or gaining. So this will bring us to what? How ions are formed. Okay, how ions are formed. So we would like to end here. In our next video, we are going to talk about the atomic structure. But first of all, we will complete why ions are formed. It is very important. I say thank you and stay blessed.